Thank you so much, Kamefe, and of course, a lovely good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Morning Drift, and of course, being Thursday, definitely there is more than a conversation set ahead of us this morning, even as we speak about so many things that are happening across the country, and of course, also I'll share with you what it takes to have a workspace right in the heart of the capital, Nairobi CBD. And of course, there's so much engagement to come on as far as this engagement is concerned, and particularly having offices in Central Business District. And it comes at a particular point in time where there is so much competition, when businesses are really trying as much as possible to set their pace and to thrive. At the end of the tunnel, they need an income. Vendors in their companies, in their engagements, in their spaces, to make sure that at the end of the tunnel their clients are happy. This comes at a point, of course, when Tulivu has launched a co-working space in the in town, that is Nairobi CBD, and of course to ensure that many other clients or different businesses are able to get some spaces, and of course to just embrace moments in their businesses. Of course, as Tulivu launches this, we'll be having that conversation in a very busy area, majorly Nairobi CBD. But of course, just to take you on the glimpse of what is happening this morning, there is an election that is happening in Mbeere, and of course there is so much divide towards that. Many people are speaking about that, and of course we are nearing the general elections 2027. Hii ndio itakuwa moja kati ya ways to understand what is the political sphere and what is the state of the political space right here in the Republic. Muthende, addressing rallies across the constituency, pledged that if elected in the next Thursdays, that is today, by election, he will ensure equitable bursary distribution and mobilize partners to establish an education to fund supplement existing bursaries. He also accused Gachagua of dragging his family into political attacks. The ruling United Democratic Alliance has intensified campaign in the Mbeere North parliamentary by-election in support of its candidate Leonard Muriuki Muthende. Of course, a conversation in the political space as far as Mbeere North elections are concerned, and many residents are coming out in large numbers to ensure that they cast their votes and to elect a leader. Earlier on in the conversations from Monday, with Simbalaji Charles Kiange, we've been speaking about the political space right here in the Republic. What is being done by these political leaders? What is being done by the leaders to ensure that the country is moving in the right direction? Even as we speak about that, there is so much clear divided ends towards understanding the political sphere and the political space right in the country. We are nearing the general elections. We only have 1 month to the bottom line of the year 2025. As we come to the alignment of 2026, we are hoping for the best and the best strategies to be put in place as far as the 2027 general elections are concerned. So these by-elections are just a wake-up call to the country, to the citizens, to the political leaders, to ensure that we have strategic plans on peaceful elections. Hii si time ya kwanza kuongelea story ya kurig elections, ya violence in elections, and of course earlier on we had a statement from CS Interior Murkomen saying that vote and leave, piga kura yako na uende nyumbani. This gathering zinachangianga sana kuweza kuwa na vita na vurugu wakati wa uchaguzi. But above all, we are expecting clear understanding on the elections and the by-elections from Mbeere. On Friday evening, a high-powered delegation led by Deputy Party Leader and Deputy President Kithure Kindiki swept through Nguyumu and Kune, urging residents to back Muthende as the most suitable candidate. And many of them came out in large numbers to ensure that what elect their leaders and their preferred leaders. I warned him not to bring device or divisive politics here. Even after by-election, our people must coexist peacefully. Mbeere North voters are interested in a candidate agenda, not divisions. That are some of the statements that are made. But mimi pia kitu na advocate for is peaceful elections. As we start early with violence, we'll end, of course, in violence coming 2027. But of course, the entire country and the commitment of the country deserves peace. We begin now with peace, and of course, we end with peace. Hatufai kurudi mwaka wa 2007. As many of course remember those times, now we shed blood. Now if I kurudi at that particular point in time, hour of reckoning for the Big 11 as high stakes by-elections begin. IEBC Chairperson Erastus Ethekon, accompanied by the returning officer and agents, witnessed the opening of the ballot papers of Kasipul constituency of the readiness for the today's by-election. There are so much more, of course, coming in, and the insights of all this is to the emphasis on the by-elections in Mbeere North, and I believe it is well said and done. Listen to this as well. Malava MP aspirant Seth Panyako has arrived at St. Joseph's Lunyu K Primary School in Malava, where he cast his vote. Panyako was accompanied by DAPK party leader Eugene Wamalwa. The battle for Malava, that is of course another by-election constituency, has tightened into fierce two-horse race, with the by-elections emerging as major test for the strength and unity of President William Ruto's broad-based government. The contest, of course, pits UDA candidate David Ndakwa, the immediate former minority leader in the Kakamega County Assembly, against DAPK aspirant Seth Panyako, a vocal government critic. That is so much more coming in your way. Our digital departments will ensure that we are having this understanding and what are some of the outcomes that are coming from this by-elections in Malava, Mbeere North, and some of the areas, even as we expect a peaceful by-elections right here in the Republic. Of course, that said and done, President William Ruto is advocating first for peaceful by-elections as well, and of course ensuring that Kenya lazima isonge mbele. Na unajua hapa hivi majuzi yamekuwa ngori sana when it comes to understanding rada ya by-elections, and so much I said about the president, and of course ensuring that president at a tick center stage in the broad-based government, and ensuring that we're moving on safe and sound. Ruto's big gift to Western major highway work set to kick off. Finally, Nairobi Nakuru highway to be dulled after years of chaos. Kenha issues traffic advisory as Ruto set to launch Rironi Nakuru Mau Summit highway. Of course, Ruto's state of security report alarm as crimes involving police officers surge. Broad-based blues wrangles test Ruto Raila accord strength. So Ruto's 2 billion shillings private jet to Angola also sparks controversies as well. So there's so much conversations when it comes to the president, and day in, day out, you speak about the president to ensure that the country is moving on swiftly, the citizens are united, there is productivity, there is enhancement and enactment in so many things are supposed to be done right here in the Republic. Even as he organizes his cabinet to make sure that everything is working to the betterment of the Republic, we will be able to get the emphasis. Also, as he strategizes on the coming 2027 general elections, we'll be able to see that taste and kind. Also, majorly the political aspirants, that is the presidential aspirants, are coming in handy to start their campaigns as early as now, that ikifika your time they'll be in the good spaces, and they'll be in the good spaces in the elections. What is trending this morning? You remember that story, Yaworia was knocked by a bus shooting content. Now, this is another news that is coming in. Warriors defy critics, return to shoot content on busy road despite accident. Wow. If you watched that video across all social media platforms, you'll believe that sometimes at some times when we go to the streets to shoot this content, we've seen many people doing pranks on people. Unapata mtu ameprankiwa na akaanguka hata kwa mtaro, or something bad that will have happened. Umestua mtu pale tao and something bad happens. I believe as content creators, everyone wants views. Everyone wants to trend. Everyone wants to see 1,000 likes in their content. No one likes 2 likes or 2 views on Instagram or TikTok. But it comes at a point where life is more precious than views on social media platforms. We are told, and this is for professionalism, that before you go shoot this content, hata angalau script is the content. Hata script, wacha zipate views because you scripted, not getting a random person and of course shooting content with them. Later on, unapata jamaa it's either alikuwa mgonjwa ama alikuwa na heart attack, and it becomes chaotic rather than you expected. So this story, of course, was cheating content, not knowing that this will happen. Of course, hakuna mtu anticipating that death inaweza happen at this particular point in time. But now they defy these critics and return to the road despite this accident. I believe this accident will be a wake-up call to many other content creators that are out there shooting their own content and design. That above all, our safety comes first in the content creation that we make. It doesn't matter what people will say on the comment section or the likes that you'll get on this content that you're making, but your safety comes first. Because when you lose your life, for instance, God forbid, when you lose your life that you're shooting this content, what will people be saying in this content? They'll be saying that you are a very good person, and sasa, may your soul rest in peace. Do you think these views will revive your health? Do you think these views zitakuleta back to normalcy? So ladies and gentlemen, as a content creator out there, please take care of yourselves. Ukienda ustue mama ama baba ya mtu pale nje, you do not know these people, you do not know what they are going through. Thereafter, please cheza kama wewe bwana. There's no need ufanye mzazi wa mtu ashikwe na heart attack just because you're shooting content. So take care out there. Content is best, but professional content is also better. Away from that, phone snatchers being disciplined by members of the public after being cornered in Kimbo along Thika Road. This has been one of the stories that have been trending because history ya kuiba imekuwa ikitrend sana in CBD and of course in our environment. So people, watu hawezi enda home usiku sana. They are afraid that wezi wamejipanga na wamejiami kuwaibia. So I appreciate those boda riders that will discipline these phone snatchers. Now there is no room for thieves after all. Tukiendelea na kukana thieves itakuwa ngori sana na haitakuwa vizuri sana when it comes now to insecurities right here in the Republic. Just to take you on the glimpse, Jana, speaking about thieves, when I was going home, a certain lady was playing easy game Candy Crush. Alikuwa anacheza game kwa basi. At that particular point in time, hiyo place alikuwa, there were women that were sitting with her kwa hiyo tu chair yake. So this mama, baada ya kuchoka playing this game for quite some time, she got tired and of course she decided just to take a nap. But unasinzia hadi unaenda kabisa. So she was sleeping like amefunga macho and the phone was here. In Zimbabwe, just here in Congo, in a lighting, au akina mama wengine kuwa light, the mama was left there. So waking up, this mama didn't find her phone. Alibaki tu hapo. Waking up anashanga, kwani simu yake imeenda wapi? You know? Later on tunaanza kesi, the bus is there, the bus can't move because we want to find this mama's phone. It comes as a wake-up call to many that are using public transport that manze tukue rada. The case that was there, alikuwa amekaa na akina mama. So akina mama pia wamegeuka wezi. So we are getting to a point where insecurity is so high that we are not now our brother's keepers, but we are something else. So take care as we do the public transport as well. Sema fare Japanda ni wewe ndiye hauna pesa. Sira conductor of course coming in at the point where history ya lipa na M-Pesa pia imekuwa ngori sana. That so many people that want to pay fare via M-Pesa inaanza kuwa noma because they don't want to show their messages. Unaambiwa onyeshe message, unamwambia angalia simu yako. So the conductors are saying that bana, kama it is impossible for you to show us your message, your M-Pesa message, then do cash. I wake up call of course now to the Ministry of Transport that we need to re-strategize on how we accelerate stories za fare. And of course, definitely embarking on the best way possible. We are 21 minutes past 8 a.m. Political space is taking center stage, but that is but that is now what we will be able to make an emphasis on, and of course we'll be able to shape particular conversations. In the next 2 minutes, of course, we'll just be taking a breather, and that will come another conversation on workspaces right here in the Republic. We've spoken for quite much, but I believe that is just but a glimpse of what is happening right here in the Republic. But we're tujitunze pale nje, tujitunze pale nje. We live as one, we end as one. So later on, I'll be inviting two able guests to help us understand the context behind a co-working space right here in the Republic. Unajua imagine kufungua biashara right in the heart of CBD is not a joke. As I read for you this profile on the co-working space about Tulivu that just opened. You remember the Hilton Hotel? Enye ilifungwa, but sasa many business people are making sure that it's coming at as an added advantage to them. It says that, of course, as Tulivu launches their co-working space right in the capital, Nairobi, in November, of course, that 4th, 2025, they had officially opened the Tulivu Coworking space that took place in the heart of Nairobi Central Business District, showcasing a state-of-the-art hospitality-led workspace located in the iconic Hilton Hotel building. Now, they are saying that the new facility brings a fresh perspective to professional workspace within the city, catering to the growing needs of entrepreneurs, small and medium enterprises, corporates, and remote teams. This is strategically positioned on Mama Ngina Street. Tulivu offers business a prestigious CBD addresses together with flexible workspace plans from Delhi. So we'll be able to understand what it takes to have a co-working space. What are some of the challenges? What are some of the engagements that are coming in? So we'll be able to shape that understanding in the best way possible. That is and so much more coming on your way. We'll be having two able guests. That is the center manager, Anaitwa Blessed Mudoni, center manager Tulivu Coworking Space, and of course also we'll be able to have Karanja Paul, lead consultant Tulivu Coworking Space. They'll be helping us understand the divided ends to us having a co-working space in a very busy area. There are many other working spaces, but why this particular strategic working space solution? Also, they'll be helping us understand easy co-working spaces zinasaidiaje and how they helping businesses and clients or any other person. Because I visited that place and I realized, hey manze, watu wana invest hapa nje, watu wanajituma sana. So if you're tired and you want just to relax and have your own space, unaweza enda Tulivu, calm environment as well. It's not a PR, but let's see what is coming in as workspace solution. So thereby join us across all social media platforms, on Lookup Television, on YouTube, Facebook, as we create a momentous engagement towards understanding co-working spaces right in the capital. We are live on YouTube and Facebook. Ikikubamba sana, go right on www.lookuptv.co.ke on our website. And of course, our number 0745-762-640 is also working. Tuma ujumbe mfupi and we will appreciate that said and done. Tulivu Co-working Space coming right on your way in the next few minutes to have this engagement in the best way possible. As we ignite this, we'll be able to understand how we can create co-working space solutions right here in Nairobi. It is 25 minutes past 8 a.m. Don't go too far.
I recall the doctor telling me that day, he said, Sarah, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but you see, life happens. You would have to learn to work with your hands, depend on your hands more.
And today, if you're going through anything that you do not understand, just call on this name, Jesus, and he will save you.
I realized I loved music when I was about 7 or 8. I used to puff my cheeks and play the 12-bar blues. Like I'd walk around the house doing like.
Why do we need the Holy Spirit?
I mean, if you look at what Jesus said when he was leaving, he said he is going and that he will send the Holy Spirit as our helper.
So God knows everything since the end, from the beginning, has a plan for your life. So to find that plan for your life, you must find God. When you find God, you will know the path for your life.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Look Up, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wasa wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hawa sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi mazuri.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
How easy is it for you to forgive someone who has hurt you? How easy is it? What are some tips, a person can apply to improve their public speaking skills?
We all have personality lazy somewhere around us.
In my mind, whenever I'm invited for a public speaking event, I don't like to put a lot of, accessories or too many colors.
What are the major things to look out when choosing a school for a child?
Another cheesy conversation starter is, men do this a lot. You look familiar. Have we met before? No. We met in
Nobody's buying that line again.
No, we don't. We don't buy it anymore.
Do you need a dose of hope? If so, you are in the right place. We think of ourselves around here as hope dealers, delivering truth, power, and inspiration to hearts and minds all over the world. If nothing else has worked for you, why not give the God thing a try? For it's in the presence of God that you'll find everything that you need. Amen.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Look Up, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wasa wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hawa sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi mazuri.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
I recall the doctor telling me that day, he said, Sarah, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but you see, life happens. You would have to learn to work with your hands, depend on your hands more.
And today, if you're going through anything that you do not understand, just call on this name, Jesus, and he will save you.
I realized I loved music when I was about 7 or 8. I used to puff my cheeks and play the 12-bar blues. Like I'd walk around the house doing like...
Why do we need the Holy Spirit?
I mean, if you look at what Jesus said when he was leaving, he said he is going and that he will send the Holy Spirit as our helper.
So God knows everything since the end, from the beginning, has a plan for your life. So to find that plan for your life, you must find God. When you find God, you will know the path for your life.
How easy is it for you to forgive someone who has hurt you? How easy is it? What are some tips, a person can apply to improve their public speaking skills?
We all have personality lazy somewhere around us.
In my mind, whenever I'm invited for a public speaking event, I don't like to put a lot of, accessories or too many colors.
What are the major things to look out when choosing a school for a child?
Another cheesy conversation starter is, men do this a lot. They look familiar. Have we met before? No. We met in
Nobody's buying that line again.
No, we don't. We don't buy it anymore.
Do you need a dose of hope? If so, you are in the right place. We think of ourselves around here as hope dealers, delivering truth, power, and inspiration to hearts and minds all over the world. If nothing else has worked for you, why not give the God thing a try? For it's in the presence of God that you'll find everything that you need. Amen.
Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika. Na watasema hili, waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza liko na ria wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hao sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi mazuri.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
I recall the doctor telling me that day, he said, Sarah, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but you see, life happens. You would have to learn to work with your hands, depend on your hands more.
And today, if you're going through anything that you do not understand, just call on this name, Jesus, and he will save you.
I realized I love music when I was about 7 or 8. I used to puff my cheeks and play the 12-bar blues. Like I'd walk around the house doing like.
Why do we need the Holy Spirit?
I mean, if you look at what Jesus said when he was leaving, he said he is going and that he will send the Holy Spirit as our helper.
So God knows everything since the end, from the beginning, has a plan for your life. So to find that plan for your life, you must find God. When you find God, you will know the path for your life.
Save a Life is a non-profit organization that has taken the front line in transforming lives in the entire country. So far, we have transformed life of over 100,000 people through our programs, which include medical support, youth empowerment, street family program, feeding program, and climate change. Join us today as we transform lives. As we always say, service to humanity is service to God. Save a life, transforming lives.
Mark, thank you so much, Dante Max. Of course, the engagement is right now. We are having the conversations on the co-working spaces right in the capital, CBD, Central Business District in Nairobi. We've been speaking about co-working spaces for quite some time, many of which would want you to understand and what it takes to have a co-working space or working spaces, and are some of the solutions that these working spaces build for business people, for any individual that wants to access. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching the Morning Drift right here on Look Up Television, and the headquarters embracing these conversations in the best way possible. Earlier on, I'd mentioned about what is captivating right here in the political space in the country. Of course, we're having different by-elections, and we'll keep you up to speed. What will be the outcome of these by-elections? But above all, the citizens and many other leaders are crying for peace and are pleading for peace. And of course, baada ya kuvote, baada ya kupiga kura, tafadhali nenda nyumbani. Tutaki mikutano nyingi, then later on tuanze kusikia ghasia zinatukia. So that is what we are pleading: vote and leave. We need proper guidelines towards this, and of course, even as the Interior CS Murkomen advocates for the same, we're also hoping for the better alignment as far as the political space and the by-elections are concerned. Ladies and gentlemen, thereafter we'll be having a shift to understand what the by-elections mean for these constituencies, and there's Kasipul, there's Malava, and of course I believe there is Mbeere North. We'll be able to have that understanding in the best way possible. But away from that, we are having a discussion on flexible office workspaces solution in the heart of Nairobi. Earlier on, I'd given you a brief bio on what is one of the engagements we are having this morning. Tulivu Coworking space in Nairobi CBD, Central Business District. They're saying it is a particular strategic design to make sure that kila msee atapenda hii. But above all, what is the solution in it? Good morning. Please introduce yourself.
Dhoni, the Center Manager of Tulivu Coworking Spaces, located in the former Hilton building, Mamangina Street, in the CBD. Actually.
Amazing. Yeah. It's nice to see you once more.
Yeah,
ulitupeleka kwenye mandhari, and we felt so good, of course, to have that engagement, kuona these spaces, kuona these rooms, and it was so exciting. First things first, why Tulivu?
Tulivu, I believe Tulivu, when it came to the market, it had more like a transitioning from the co-working space, normal co-working spaces that we're used to something better. And I think we are far ahead, like 2 years ahead from the normal co-working spaces. That's why Tulivu.
Yeah. Normal working spaces, what does that mean?
It means you just come and you have a desk. But Tulivu, it's more than a desk. And we are, at Tulivu, I believe we are more basically hospitality led. So it's not just you come and have a desk, no. You just come, plug in, you get the hospitality led that you're pitching and we are talking about, you know.
All right. And now you are introducing to us, you are the center manager. How does it feel?
So good, because I'm leading something that I really wanted to, and I feel like it has an alignment with what I'd say is in the real estate that I really wanted to do, you know. So I believe being a center manager at Tulivu, it has a lot of impact and alignment in my life right now. Yeah.
Amazing. What kind of impact?
One, career-wise, it's a very big boost in my career, because this is something that I'm doing with love, you know. So when you come to Tulivu, you'll find that love, because I'm doing it from the bottom of my heart. So yeah.
With passion.
With passion.
With passion.
Exactly.
And because now it's a working space.
Yeah.
You invite passionate embraces towards Tulivu.
Yeah.
You mentioned earlier that Tulivu is Swahili to describe calmness, and you know, wasiona calm, a space that is calm. If you want to do your business, if you want to have your clients there, it's a very calm place. All right. You are at the heart of the central business district, and of course the tower, Hilton, speaks a lot. How does that make Tulivu feel when the address is well known, and of course there's so many people and there's so many activities going on at that place? Where does that put Tulivu?
I think the same way people knew Hilton is the same way people are now going to know Tulivu, because one thing, Hilton had the five-star luxury, you know. So I believe whatever we are going to offer in Tulivu is nothing has changed about it, you know. It means like whatever was there before, it has been now transitioned to Tulivu. So we are giving the 5-star hospitality led. We are giving the 5-star when it comes to cleaning, when it comes to serving our clients, you know. So it feels good, of course, and it feels like a big boost on us is Tulivu Coworking spaces. So yeah.
All right. So what is your thought on flexible office working spaces?
My thought is, when we talk about flexible, it means like it has to accommodate a whole community, you know, because flexibility is the number one thing about co-working spaces. Like when it comes to young startups, when it comes to SMEs, when it comes to somebody who just wants a virtual space. So flexibility is the core, like the core backbone of now the working spaces. So yeah. So I believe workspace have to be flexible to accommodate a lot of people, because we are transitioning from the traditional offices to now making people like feel the comfortableness of having a flexible space to come inside, to have a place where they won't have a lot of cost when it comes to furnishing and putting a lot of furniture in an office, you know. So that means there is flexibility in co-working spaces.
All right.
So, yeah.
And someone will ask, because you're speaking about flexibility, I can just have my office at home, then I'll be working at home. That is more flexible than ever.
I wouldn't say it's. I can't cite that, because when you're at home, you have a lot of distraction. Most probably, you have your kids around. You have a TV being destructive. You have a lot of things happening. You have children playing at the background of your compound, you know. But when you come to a normal workspace, I believe you have to come and relax, have your work being productive in that space. So basically, you can't compare working from home and working in a workspace, you know. There's a certain feel that you have to feel when you come to that workspace, you know. In as much as you're saying that working at home can be comfortable, I believe there's some of the disadvantage that you'll get. I believe so, because that is how personally I've experienced. When I come to a workspace, I believe there's a certain type of productivity that has to come in, mostly because there is, let me just call the biophilic nature that comes from a lot of workspace, Tulivu being part of it. So you'll get like a lot of places to work from, different angles to work from, you know. And like maybe at home. Yeah, thank you.
At home is much comfortable, but at sometimes it might not be productive as such. So what are some of the advantages that you can mention because of your expertise as well? What are some of the advantages that are coming with working spaces?
One of the advantages, we actually spoke about it, is flexibility. And another thing, I believe it is more affordable. That is one of the advantages as well. It is affordable when it comes to somebody doesn't have an office, but you need a virtual office. So you can get a virtual office at an affordable price, you know. And this covers all the startups, SMEs, even the gurus in the market. You can be in Kisumu and you still want an adjustment in Nairobi CBD, you know, so you can get access to the virtual office, you know. So flexibility is one of them. Now we are talking about, I think, accommodating a lot of people. Yeah, basically.
All right, accommodating so many people. You mentioned that the new facility brings a fresh perspective to professional workspaces within the city, of course catering to the growing needs of entrepreneurs, small and the medium enterprises, corporates and remote teams. And basically, of course, when it's speaking about business, you know, embracing business opportunities, and of course making sure that killer entrepreneur will get these spaces, we would like you to help us understand now the professional angle in this. What are some of the, are there particular business people, clientele that you look forward to, or what kind of people do you look forward to when it comes to entrepreneurs, business people? And of course, as you answer that as well, you mentioned you know, in your launch marks a new chapter in the way Nairobi works. Of course, you'll be able to help us understand what is the way that Nairobi works.
All right. So first, let me answer the people we are ready to accommodate. Personally, we don't have a limitation because we have covered almost everybody, you know, in the industry. First of it being the young SMEs getting the virtual address. We cover like even the lawyers, if you have a startup, you know. And another thing that we have not forgotten is the young creatives, you know. That's why we have the podcast studios, you know. So podcasters are catered for. So basically, Tulivu being in the heart of CBD and looking at it in a different angle, that a lot of things happen in the CBD, you know. So it covers, I think, a big wide range in the CBD, from the startups, from now somebody who is having a short meeting and you need somewhere private, you have the soundproof meeting rooms. You can have your deals sealed in the soundproof meeting room. You have boardrooms, so it covers even people for chairmans, you know, even like our parents. You have they have the small kikundi and they want somewhere private where to gather, you know. So we have also covered our parents as well. We have also covered the creatives, which I've already mentioned. So yeah, basically we don't have a limitations of people who we have maybe seen through in the market. So yeah.
Africa to be.
Africa Day. Then we have a very nice package from startups to the gurus in the market for people who can pay even 600,000 office, you know. So we have covered from down there going up.
Are the offices different from the extensive guru, as you mentioned, to the low earners? Are they the same? Are they the same? Are they the same packages?
Basically, no. Basically, no, you can't give me something for 20,000 and then tell me it's still the same for somebody who has the office for 60,000 or 600,000, you know. So it's different depending on whatever your need is, you know. Because I believe if you are a lawyer, of course you need somewhere private to seal your deals or to have private conversations. So having a soundproof meeting rooms is one of the things that we can consider having it is maybe to cover the lawyers, you know. And it comes with a different package. But let's say you are a startup. I can't give you the same price for somebody who has already established themselves. I can't give you maybe that soundproof meeting room. Maybe it's on a higher end. Maybe for you it's okay for you to start with a boardroom, you know, which has a different rate from the soundproof meeting rooms. Yeah.
All right. Tulivu Coworking is entry into Nairobi's workspace sector comes at a time when the evolution of hybrid work models and increasing demand for agile office solutions is changing and how or where professionals work, setting the city to emerge as a regional hub for flexible, business-ready environments. Allow us to mention this, or you might help us understand this. There is this evolution, which earlier you'd mentioned about the traditional way of working, and of course now we can say this one is more modern way and design of workspaces. How do you think this evolution benefits entrepreneurs, benefits business people, whereas we need to have this transition and the shift from the traditional way to the modern way? How captivating is this?
When we speak about now the capturing a lot of and captivating a lot of people and accommodating people, as the center manager of Tulivu, I can say one thing when it comes to traditional offices, there are things that are not there in the traditional offices, because one of the things is that you've already spent a lot of money doing the furnitures, the finishing, you know. But now when you come to the flexible spaces, there's a lot of things offered on our end, you know. One of them is also we have the mothers breastfeeding, or maybe the lactating room, which maybe when you check in the traditional office, those are the things that are not even embraced, you know. We had to we tried to capture everybody. We really tried to consider everybody in the market, you know. So when a parent is looking for somewhere to have a meeting, and of course maybe you had a newborn soon, or you had a newborn, or you have a newborn, you know, and you still have to attend that meeting. We have that space where you can have your meeting, lactate, you know, change your baby, you know. But when you look at the traditional, that is not something that can happen so quick, you know. And another thing I say that benefits now the modern than now the traditional is that flexibility in terms of now saving the costs, because cost is another thing that we have to look on the high end. So cost saving is one of the major.
Do you think it does? It does save cost?
Yeah, it does. Because when I come maybe at Tulivu, I just have to plug and play, and maybe for a day I can as well have as low as paying 1,700 for a space, you know. But when it comes to having a whole office, let's say it's even 580 square feet, you know, I have to pay per square feet. I have to come with my own furnishing. I have to know where my people are going to have a boardroom, or, you know, where I'm going to meet my people. So saving cost is one of the number one thing.
All right. Are there spaces for one people?
Yeah. We have for one person is hot desk dedicated. We also have one that has a package of 4 people, which is a private suite as well. So you can capture from one person going up even to more than 4 or 5. Yeah.
All right. Definitely, of course, strategically understanding the situations right here. And of course, I believe Dante Max also wants to get a co-working space, is really, you know, thriving in this, and his editing skills as well. I believe he'll talk to you later on to see the budget. Kama itaweza. Budget lazima iweze. All right. Yeah. So you're saying, beyond the workspace, of course, the meeting rooms, boardrooms, and conference halls right there prefer for strategy sessions, board meetings, and that as well. And as well as you also mentioned, every space comes equipped with modern audiovisual systems, high-speed Wi-Fi, and on-site tech support, ensuring seamless professional gatherings. But there is something that is in there. This morning, we're speaking about flexible office work spaces solutions. So we want business people to be in a position to have their endeavors day in, day out, that they can be accommodated. And we can't find these spaces anywhere. There are strategic spaces that we can find. All right? What are some of the solutions that co-working spaces build to business people to ensure that biashara zao zitasonga fiti?
Pardon. In terms of?
Generally, in terms of easy co-working spaces. Coming at a time where everyone wants to invest, everyone wants a room to have business conversations, business-like engagements. So what do you think are some of the solutions that co-working spaces are creating to these entrepreneurs, to these business people, for the betterment of their business engagements?
And allow me to speak as a young person.
All right.
Okay? I think as a young person, and somebody who don't want to have an ick, or maybe break my bank, you know, I believe I will go for something affordable before I continue growing, you know. So as a young person, I know that maybe I need to grow, and there is a space that allows me to grow is one of the motivational thing I will do, you know, because when it comes to having a flexible workspace and it has accommodated even the younger SMEs and the startups, I believe it's a big advantage. Are you getting? So basically, I will say having a space that accommodates, that is a number one thing. Yeah.
All right. So your number one goal?
It's the number one goal as a young person.
Si ati nini, nilikuwa na kugoogle hapa, and of course you've been trending quite a lot. Your face is everywhere. Hey, si tuandike kazi.
I can do that. That is if, of course, there is that support. You know.
Amazing.
And I think there is one eye opener I've seen actually in our workspace. Basically, because I think we are continuing to grow. Let me just say this: you're continuing to grow, and this is one of the motivational things that I've been really moving from one end to another when it comes to the creative, you know, podcasts. You know, I think that was a very nice thing that we did.
Amazing.
You know. First of all, I think I can become a motivational speaker.
Wow,
so
impressive.
Why not start with Tulivu? So you get a podcast for a low cash and affordable amount. If you want to do a voiceover, I'm currently trying to do some voiceovers and see if I can.
Nice one. We want to try?
Maybe.
Yeah. So let's get the camera set. So we want to try this. You came to look up television, and of course you're the manager from Tulivu, and you came all the way to look up television to have a co-working space conversation. So, you know, create something in your head, then do it like a voiceover. Drum rolls?
Yeah.
Ready?
Wait. Why I have to think? So. Yeah, we can try.
All right. We can try?
Yeah.
So that as we continue the conversation, you'll figure it out.
Yeah, I can figure it out. That's nice. Yeah.
The reason also I asked you about your face is all over the news, social media, and of course, many people are saying that there is a co-working firm takes over former Hilton CBD space. Hey. All right. And of course, our conversation says that solutions, co-working spaces solutions, and how we can build better solutions when it comes to co-working spaces. When we are speaking about Tulivu and the takeover, do you think this co-working spaces, this co-working space, to be specific, Tulivu, has taken over the masses of co-working spaces in the country, or in Nairobi to be specific?
Yeah, it has.
All right.
I think people knew Hilton, that Hilton is already there. You know?
All right, allow me to cut you short a little bit. And of course, in the wake of this co-working farm spaces and the takeover, we'll be able to have that understanding in the best way we can. A report by Knight Frank, Nairobi's co-working market is diverse, with over 60 spaces now operating, primarily concentrate in areas like Westlands, Upper Hill, the CBD, and many others that are taking the space and the route to make sure business stand na zinacheza kama hao.
Yeah.
All right, and of course, umetuambia too, there is also opportunities. This is because it's a social engagement. So hii siku inakuanga a social engagement. We will be able to help our viewers if they're looking for spaces as well.
Yeah.
If they're looking for opportunities as well to get enrichments.
Yeah.
We'll be able to have that in line as well. Earlier on, I'd mentioned to you that was big. You know, a call to partnership. That was a big stretch as well. We'll be able to have that understanding in the best way possible. At a time when there are also other working spaces that are coming in. I'd like you, Placid, to talk to us about the competition. Does that affect you?
No, it doesn't affect us.
Why?
I can't say that. I can't say that. But I believe each and every market, each and every profession has competition, right? It's about positioning.
Indeed.
Right? So the way you position yourself is not the way another co-working space is going to position themselves. And one thing people have to know, different co-working spaces have different things that they offer, you know? So basically, personally, I can like one that has this and I cannot like one that has this. So being in the market, it's about choice, you know? Maybe your choice of how you treated when you go to that workspace, your choice when it comes to how productive you become when you work on that workspace, you know? So I believe competition is quite maybe irrelevant, But we have to talk about the offerings, you know.
Offerings.
Yeah.
All right. Tusiongelee mambo ya competition.
No, competition has to be there. Because even
It
for
has
you,
to be there
it
for
has to be there.
thriving.
Yeah, true.
Amazing.
Competition has to be there. So if we freak and say that we have maybe another co-working space that is doing this and this, we're not going to exist, you know?
Amazing.
So basically, I can say, don't look at the competition, look at maybe the positioning on how you're doing it.
Does that keep you alert as the manager?
Yeah, it has to.
Kotu rada day in
Lazima
day.
nikue rada. And you have to keep your people on toes each and every day, because we're transitioning day by day.
Amazing.
So if I say like I'm not going to grow, I'm going to fail, right? So basically, yeah, I have to be alert. My antenna has to be so up.
Indeed. How are co-working spaces approach their clients to be hii ndio the best one? How do you approach your clients?
Personally,
Ama they come to you?
When they come, let me just speak when they come. Of course, you have to listen to their need. And you have to advise them according to their need, you know? And by advice, it doesn't mean that I'm choosing for them, you know? So basically, you have to listen to what your clients want, because of course your client is always right, you know? Because you can't come, you want a workspace, and then I give you a boardroom. It doesn't make sense, right? So I have to listen what you want first, and then from there we can figure out from if you want this, now I give you options to choose from. Are you getting?
Indeed.
So basically that is how we work.
All right. A report by Knight Frank, Nairobi's co-working market is diverse, with over 60 spaces now operating primarily concentrated in areas that I mentioned before. And right about now, you know, Central Business District is on the list. Prime office occupancy has been on the rise, climbing to 77.7% from June, in 5 percentage point increase from 72.7% recording in January early this year. The surge signals a stronger demand for high quality workspace, driven largely by co-working operators and business process outsourcing BPO firms. The sector is becoming increasingly selective, with a clear focus in premium assets property, boasting strong environmental, social and governance, that is ESG credentials, are considered best positioned for long-term success. Industry analysts conclude that quality, flexibility and strategic positioning are now defining factors for the resilient market. How is the market for co-working spaces?
Right now it's getting saturated. That's one thing I can't lie. And since 2010, where the evolution came in, where we had our first co-working spaces, each and every day co-working spaces are growing. We're finding people are starting their own co-working spaces because of the flexibility in it. So currently we have a saturated market, but what makes you stand out is whatever you're offering, you know? And the positioning as well. I've talked about positioning from the word go, you know? Currently, like at Tulivu, we're giving hospitality-led, meaning that from Hilton 5-star, we're transitioning it to now Tulivu 5-star. Are you getting? So basically, it's how you position, and the market is very, very saturated. That is one thing I can say.
Indeed. All right. How do you make sure that your clientele are go for 5-star? What?
Let me ask you something. Let me just now take it back to you. Does 5-star means expensive when you hear it? Or how does it? Okay, when you hear 5-star, what scares you about 5-star?
Hey!
Yeah. What scares you about 5-star?
It doesn't scare me, but it shows, you know, what it holds.
So if you hear 5-star, it means there is value, right? Okay. Yeah, when you hear 5-star, there is value. In that, why can somebody maybe go to a certain hotel, but don't go to another hotel? And maybe that hotel is 10 times expensive than the other, you know? It doesn't mean that if it's a 5-star is expensive, it means you're getting value from that. So even if it's to live with, it doesn't mean that the 5-star is expensive. It's the expensive that how people see it. It's the value that calls it, that makes it become a 5-star.
Amazing.
Right? Yeah.
I'm asking that because of our two different audiences. That one might feel like, hey, nyinyi mko Hilton. Then, you know, someone else is asking, sasa mimi nitaafford kweli, you know? So for affordability, that is where the conversation comes in.
Yeah.
That you need to be able to accommodate these two parties. That how to feel, hey.
Let me tell you, I think when I was starting, I said we have covered from 5-star, from the startups. Sorry, from the startups to the gurus in the market. So basically, you can't be a startup and I give you the same price for the gurus, you know? So the 5-star doesn't have to scare you. cause
Jaribu.
yeah, jaribu.
Wajua
Ingia
wale wanaweza advise mtu
coffee.
atienda hoteli fulani kunywa chai kikombe moja tu ya 500, then you'll meet a client there.
At times it can work. Apia ina depend with how, I don't know, how you package yourself as well.
You never know.
Yeah, you never know. Personally, I usually say 5-star doesn't mean it has to be expensive. You know?
Indeed.
I don't know if people can agree with that, but for me, 5-star means that there is value in it, you know? And there is some service that I'll experience there, which I won't experience from maybe another place, you know? So basically, price doesn't have to scare you. Maybe you can get there and you find even it's more affordable from what you thought it wasn't, you know? Yeah.
All right. As we take a very short break, ladies and gentlemen, Tulivu Coworking also features a state-of-the-art, which we'll be able to discuss now when you're getting now to the approach your creativity and art in the next few minutes. And I believe, of course, the conversation is rolling and we'll be able to hear your voice talent when it comes to voiceover and the perfection in those clients that wants to do that as well. Ulisema conversations, ukitaka kupiga simu, there is a space yako peke yako, hata upige nduru namna gani, no one can listen to your conversation. It's very privatized. We'll be able to have that, and of course building the solutions towards co-working spaces right in the central business district, ahead of course of co-working offices right here in the Republic. Taarifa zinapochipuka na kutufikia papa hapa kwenye makao makuu ya chumba cha habari cha runinga ya Lookup, kwenye taifa, kwenye serikali, kwenye bunge, tunajitosa hadi kwenye sauti ya wenyeji ili kupata tu maoni ya wenyeji kuhusu masuala haya yanayochipuka.
Maana hii kitu inaenda kuumiza Mkenya kwa tax.
Hakuna kitu tunafurahia. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Sisi tunaumia, si ati tunaumia ile ya kiukweli. Juu maisha ni ngumu.
Na bila shaka tunapata maoni yao ili sauti yao ipate kusikika, na watasema hili waseme lile, watasema hiki na waseme kile, almuradi sauti yao ipate taa.
Mambo ya mafuta tena imekuwa ni changamoto zaidi kwa kila mtu wa bodaboda.
Uchumi ikikuwa stable, tunaamini mambo itakuwa sawa sawa.
Kwanza alikuwa na ria wa boda, mama mboga nini. Hao sasa ndio wamefinywa zaidi man.
Mtazamaji, hii ni bunge la wenyeji.
I recall the doctor telling me that day, he said, Sarah, I'm sorry about what happened to you, but you see, life happens. You would have to learn to work with your hands. Depend on your hands more.
And today, if you're going through anything that you do not understand, just call on this name, Jesus, and he will save you.
I realized I loved music when I was about 7 or 8. I used to puff my cheeks and play the 12-bar blues. Like I'd walk around the house doing like...
Why do we need the Holy Spirit?
I mean, if you look at what Jesus said when he was leaving, he said he is going and that he will send the Holy Spirit as our helper.
So God knows everything since the end, from the beginning, has a plan for your life. So to find that plan for your life, you must find God. When you find God, you will know the path for your life.
Do you need a dose of hope? If so, you are in the right place. We think of ourselves around here as hope dealers, delivering truth, power, and inspiration to hearts and minds all over the world. If nothing else has worked for you, why not give the God thing a try? For it's in the presence of God that you'll find everything that you need. Amen.
Welcome back. 11 minutes past 9 a.m. You're watching the Morning Drift right here on Look Up Television. And of course, I believe we are in a co-working space maybe. This is very much flexible. Our studio is underway a state-of-the-art studio like no other. Look Up Television indeed. Nafikiri we have a tunaongelea story ya flexibility. Look Up inacheza kama hiyo, and we are in the best way possible. Tunacheza kama sisi. So also, I don't want to say that, but we'll say it in our consecutive engagements the live stream. But of course, tembea tu hapa Look Up Amboseli as well, kuja uone mandhari ya studio as well. Courtesy, of course, of the conversations this morning, co-working spaces and the capital. We are still embracing Tulivu, and of course, coming into the co-working spaces, how they're designed, how they perfect them, embracing the businesses and entrepreneurs out there. So we want to discuss about the state-of-the-art podcast and content studio in Nairobi, designed for creators and brands producing video, audio or social content in a quiet, acoustically optimized environment. Welcome back. Talk to us about now the state-of-the-art.
I think when you say the state-of-the-art, you mean now for the creatives?
Indeed.
Right? So basically, personally, we have a lot. I can say we personally have a lot of things going on in the country, and having let me say a station, a podcast studio in the center of CBD. That is one thing that people really need right now, because we need to air out our visions. We need to air out our maybe how we feel about it, how we feel about these by-elections things going on. So basically having a Tulivu studio in the center of CBD, it will cover a lot of creatives in the industry who are in the CBD and also outside CBD. Yeah.
All right. Wenye uko nje ya CBD na
because utapata maandamano inaendelea and you want something to be aired out. Where would you rush?
Tunatumia your studio. You're flexible as well. You can shift.
Yeah, we are so
flexible. You can
flexible.
shift to the client's location.
Not really. What I mean about the flexibility in Tulivu, we have different capacities. You know, we have a capacity that can accommodate from 2 people to as well even 12 people. So basically, if even you want to have a whole TV session going on, you have a 12 people, you know,
amazing
space. So basically, in as much as people want to show the by-election things going on and the maandamano things going on, Tulivu can cater for that, and you come and do your thing.
Indeed.
Yeah.
All right. It makes sense majorly in understanding the concept behind Tulivu and its engagements right here. And earlier on we mentioned about the transition. And of course you guys are in the transition period, allowing clients, allowing entrepreneurs and business people to say that, hey, come on, you guys are here. It means it is trustworthy, and we are able to, you know, ignite partnership or, you know, come to your spaces.
Yeah.
Let's now embrace that conversation on the transition.
Yeah.
Since now it is majorly known for a particular setup, but now you are taking over.
So basically about the transition, I will start from the word go, how it started. And I will say people knew that now Hilton building is dead. And basically what we did as Tulivu is we utilized what people knew is which is dead, which is a solution that we made for Hilton building. You know, we underutilized the Hilton building now to transitioning them into the workspaces. So you find the suites are now transitions to now the co-working spaces. You know, so I think that is one of the solutions that we did for the former Hilton building. You know, so yeah, so there is a lot of opportunities out here. It's just a matter of you seeing the opportunity and taking over.
All right.
So we saw the opportunity at the former Hilton building, and we took over now to the co-working spaces. Yeah.
But it's been there for quite some time before usage. How did the opportunity come about?
Of course, a lot of research. You know, and you have to look what is missing in the market. You know, and I don't know if CBD, most of the co-working spaces in CBD have studios, podcast studios. I don't know if Yeah, I know. I think I can say I know. Most of the co-working spaces in the CBD don't have soundproof meeting rooms, you know? So there's a solution that we brought in the market, aside from now bringing just a co-working space, you know? Yeah, basically.
Wow. Inavutia manake there's the taste of privacy. Na hapo ndo kila msee anatakanga privacy. How assured, yes, because there is room for privacy and, you know, silent places, there is quiet spaces. How should the client ensure that Tulivu has the perfection of privacy?
How will ensure? One, privacy.
Complete privacy.
Complete privacy, we say. I basically can say, for the sound, I think let me just speak for the soundproof meeting rooms, because that is the heart for me. So basically, privacy comes in now when you come, you go in. There is no like you have put like a lot of maybe CCTV watching you or something. You're doing your private meeting. That is why it's called a soundproof private meeting room. You know, that is why it is soundproof, meaning there is a lot of privacy. Even when you want to make a call, we have the soundproof phone booth. So it means like whatever you are going to say in there is not going to be circulated, or maybe somebody hearing whatever you have to say, you know? So yeah.
All right, what are some of the challenges that you guys face?
The first challenge that we face, I think people had in mind that not Tulivu basically, the Hilton building is dead. So that is one of the challenges. So when it came like to a revamp, so of course there is that perception that people have, Hilton is a 5-star, right? So the perception just went on to Tulivu. So transitioning from now that to now letting people understand, even though there is Hilton and now there is Tulivu, I think people just didn't understand that at first, you know? The transition, I think that is what people like didn't understand, and I think that was a big disadvantage and a challenge to us on our end because of the perception, basically. Yeah.
All right, that affected you? Affected the engagement?
Not the engagement, but we had to use a lot of maybe the strength to tell people like, now this is Tulivu. Are you getting?
Indeed.
So yeah.
Wow. What was the advantage of the media that you know, came to your launch, and of course also Look Up Television participated in this, and ensuring that manzi story bana ni deadly sana, because it's taking over, and I'm really praying and I'm hoping in the next few months, or you know, a couple of days, you guys will rock the space.
We have already started onboarding people, which is a plus for us. We are so happy about that. We have had people come experience the space, give reviews, and that is our number one thing. So it means that we are doing well in the market. So if somebody can just come and stay and a whole day and give a whole review about Tulivu, it means that there are people to work in Tulivu, you know. There are people who are looking for spaces to work from. So it means there was a gap in the market. That is why people are now coming to try it out, you know.
Amazing.
So basically, there is a lot that we are seeing for Tulivu, and we have a very hopeful heart that Tulivu is going to be, you know, to have a blast at the long run.
It has a blast already, isn't it?
Yeah, it has.
Leona uliandika call for partnership. What do?
And for media, I think it did a very huge boost for us, because if it wasn't maybe for media, people couldn't have known that there is a space at the former Hilton building, which is Tulivu Coworking spaces. Yeah.
So let's as we talk about partnership as well. Sasa ningependa utuambie, if there is an organization, there is, you know, business people that want to come to Tulivu, but sasa how wanapiga hesabu ya kukaa for long, like now this is our office probably for a couple of years, you know, maybe do just a long period. How do you take that approach? That sasa sisi to office zetu ziko Tulivu, how do you take that approach?
It's a very nice and a very positive approach from our end, because we know that we are catered for in terms of we have a AAA location.
Amazing.
Meaning if you want to come, you already have access to all the areas around Hilton building. There is the Kencom Road, you have the Waterloo Lane, you have Mama Ngina. You can access Hilton building like at the center. And then another thing, there is something that we have done at Hilton. We have the commercial spaces down there. There is barter, there is dentistry, there is a bank if you need a new transaction, if you need to buy a shoe. There is,
that was the idea as well?
You know? Sorry?
That was your idea to have?
Yeah, basically, I think when we were looking at Tulivu, when we were transitioning now the hotel, we saw that there is an opportunity. Because if you have somebody who wants just to stay in the office and not move outside the chaos, you can access everything down there. There is a coffee shop down there. There is a bank to do the transaction. So I believe there is, when you come to Tulivu and you just need the space and silence, I believe you have that all in one. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
I want to know, was that your idea, like to have this business environments just to in support of Tulivu?
Of course, we worked with different people.
Indeed.
We have a lot of people who came in hand to make Tulivu work. So there is a lot of research we did. There is a lot of things that had to come in for our consideration to bring Tulivu at the former Hilton building. Basically, I can't say it's a one-person duty, you know, or a one-person victory. It had to come, you had to join hands to come up with whatever is in Tulivu.
Indeed?
Yeah.
Are there still rooms for partnerships?
Yeah, why not?
Wow.
There is.
So I think I'll give you a chance now to just look on the camera, then invite these partnerships, as well as, you know, Look Up Television also coming in towards this. Ebu waalike kwa mahusiano ya kibiashara.
All right. So which one should I look at?
This one.
This one. All right. Let me just say, is the center manager of Tulivu. I'm really pleased to have you guys on board, and we are looking forward to have a partnership with you guys, because we are looking to have Tulivu being maybe the solution for what you need. If you're a startup, if you just need a virtual office, if you're a mother and you feel like you just want to work as well, you have you catered for. So we are looking for partnership, and we really want to cover everybody. For creatives, you're also welcome. For those podcasters that feel like you want to explore more options, we can do that on our end. So I welcome you guys to Tulivu Coworking Spaces, and you will find me on board. Say hi if you see me. Yeah.
Wakikuona huko ama kwa social media?
Kote. Just say hi. Say hi. We interact. I hear what you do. Because personally, I'm a believer of young startups, you know. I'm a believer of people who are maybe working hard to start maybe their businesses, young CEOs. Kwanza right now we have a lot of young CEOs, which I'm loving as a young person, you know. So I don't know how young is it is for you, but I'm still young, I presume. So for young people.
Oh, you want us to talk about youngness?
young. You know, there's young.
Indeed.
People take it differently.
Yeah, me basi ningependa kusikia, since of course you're young. And how does that make you feel? Like, you know, you still have many years to grow, not only with Tulivu, but to grow yourself.
Yeah.
How does that position you as a young manager as well? The young CEOs right in the Republic.
I will say, for me, I thank God first of all for the opportunity, and I would love to tell each or any young person who you're looking up to start your industry or your career or maybe your company. There is no limitation of how young you are. It's just a matter of mindset. You go get your goals, you know, just go for it. Go for it. Like, that's basically how I can say. And there's a lot of job out here. There's a lot of job opportunities out here. So don't limit yourself because you're young. Just go for it. You never know where the opportunities are gonna come from. I never knew if maybe one day I'll call a manager.
Wow.
You know. So basically, I'm looking at it at a very positive-minded side. Yeah. And I'm very glad that I get to lead a team that they look up to. You know. So just go out and do whatever you feel like is benefiting you.
Does your age inconvenience this team as well?
No, I can be that age, but at the same time, I just want to lead a team. You know, so age is just a number.
All right. So how old are you?
to go hapo almost that floor.
Okay. so all right. So we are about to come to the bottom line of the conversation. And you mentioned something that many youths would have wanted to hear, and you're speaking out of you know, professionalism, and you've been in these spaces. And earlier on I heard you mention about when unaweza kuwa motivational speaker And you mentioned something very, very particular and intentional. I'd love you to make an emphasis on the same. That there are many youths that have studied, have done a couple of things. They want to do this and that, they want to invest. But these opportunities ni kama ndongori sasa. And you're saying this morning that checky, you just go out there. You never know where the opportunity will land or dawn on you. Take your time, of course. Advise these youths on how they can access opportunities. Maybe in particular way, to be direct, they have been in a particular organization for quite a long time. Maybe it's now their time to shift, but there is this fear of the unknown. Nikitoka hapa alafu kiumane kule mbele, how will I come back to this organization? Tell them kielele ni mbaya.
One thing I can say, if you just want to transition from where you are, first of all, you have to be, I can't say perfect, but better at what you do. In terms of basically where I was, the position I was before, I made sure that I'm growing. Are you understanding?
Indeed.
I grew from that position. I learned, I studied. You have to make sure that you're going ahead of where the place you are. Are you getting?
Amazing.
And recently on Sunday I was reading a book, and I think this is one of the things that people have to know. Like, know what you want. Know what you want. Write it down. Like, basically that is how I do with me. If I want to grow and I feel like I'm giving myself like a timeline that I want to grow from this to this, I know what I want. You write it down, know what you want, write it down, and then from there start working from there to just step by step, brick by brick, no rush. And if you have the positive mind that you're going to get there, and you have the consistency and the discipline, trust me, it has worked for me and it will work for you as well. So basically, just know what you want. If you're in a career that you feel like you want to grow to another level, I presume continue learning, do the online courses. Personally, I've done a lot of online courses, and that is what has transitioned to me becoming the person that I am right now.
Amazing.
Are you getting? So basically, have the discipline, be consistent, know what you want, have them written down on your book or your personal book or something. That is what I can say. And with that, God from above is seeing it all. God will see it all. Your pressure, your whatever, God will see it all. So basically, just have that mindset and pray. Because me, I think I'm a product of prayer. I prayed for such days. I prayed for times that when I felt like I wasn't motivated. I prayed for moments that I was in the up. I prayed for all those times. And there is a time also as a manager, I feel like I'm not where I want to become, or where I want to go, or where I want to be. Are you getting? So basically, in such moments, I just have to search my heart and tell God, like, I want to go to this direction. How can I do it? And you have everything clarified. Just write them down. If this is where you want to be, just write them down and pray about it.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You see, look at these faces, vile wamekuangalia, they feel motivated. Kudos to you.
Thank you.
Mwanata Lugaria anasema, hey, that was really nice.
Yeah.
And the bottom line, of course, in understanding flexible office workspaces solutions right here in the capital, and of course, we've been embracing Tulivu to really understand how this comes out handy to entrepreneurs and business people. And of course, pia kuna room for creatives, of course, just to make sure that everything said and done is well understood. And basically speaking about working spaces and majorly embracing the challenges and how individuals can come and partner, can come and have these engagements with such working spaces, so the developments are coming in handy. And many of which we're speaking about this, the reason as to why we're having to live and maybe these working spaces, sometimes it's not necessarily the business, it's just necessarily the environment to just calm yourself down and know that things will work out for the better. This is a very intentional question when it comes now to mental wellness. That somebody is coming to these working spaces not only for a transaction, but is coming for a specific reason, just to calm down. Vitu hazijaenda vizuri, but needs a private space to calm down. How does Tulivu or this working space ensure that also they can cover some sort of mental well-being of their clientele?
Yeah. So basically, when I say like Tulivu is hospitality led, one of the things I meant is that you just don't come to Tulivu and transact and go, you know?
Indeed.
You can come there with a lot of stress, you know? You can come there and you don't feel the motivation, and that is why we have now the breakout area where we have the biophilic nature in it. We have the pool where you can just relax by the pool, enjoy the sceneries by the pool. Are you getting?
Indeed.
So basically, we are trying to build a wellness type of thing, and I think when we have a lot of, when I can call it maybe a lot of people wanting to explore more of wellness, I think that is something we can try and consider. But for now, we're trying to work with whatever is within us. So basically, we have the biophilic nature around the space. We have the breakout where you can just go have your coffee from there and relax your mind. It's not a must to be working from 8 to 5, you know. We have a space where you can break out, you can have your time, you know, and experience the nature and the goodness of CBD actually, because being at the center of CBD, we are used to being rushed from here to here, you know, by the matatus, from even when you're coming inside to park, you know. But when you come to Tulivu, we want you to experience that hustle from being in a rush to now to having a calm environment. Yeah, basically we have that breakout area that we have incorporated for people like those, like people who have stress and yeah.
Indeed. So prepare the voiceover. Of course, you have 3 minutes to wind up this session. I believe for the betterment of all this, itakuwa fiti sana. So prepare the voiceover and prepare, you know, your final remarks, as well as how we can interact with Blessed Muthoni as a manager. We can interact with Tulivu, and if I'm out there, I'm a businessman, what are some of the things that I need to take into consideration before I make an approach? All right, 33 minutes down the line. Of course, we are embracing flexible office workspace solution, and I believe for business entrepreneurs out there, they've learned a thing, and I believe also suti nzuri kama hii, Stanley Lugaria has also understood this, and of course it's an honor to have you, Stanley, as well. Asante sana for igniting this cooperation and coordination towards this. Thank you so much. Now it's your good time to do that. After that, you'll share with us how we can interact with you.
All right. So basically, you want the voiceover.
All right.
Okay. I think I'm just trying. Okay.
Okay.
I'm not good at this. I'm
It's
just
all right.
trying. Okay. Co-working spaces are evolving from day to day. As we all know, from 2010, there has been an evolution for co-working spaces. And now, through the evolution, we get to see different spaces and different design from the workspaces. So I believe Tulivu being one of the, maybe, I can't say top leading, let me just hype it up, top leading co-working spaces, you are ready to give you the best, and as well the hospitality led that we have been preaching. So yeah, come and see us.
Wow.
I hope I've done it well.
Hey, give a soundtrack.
Really?
So, how can we interact with you?
So you can reach me on, I can give you the office number. So you can reach me at 07 or maybe 2547 68 618 and 330. Yeah, that is the first one you can reach me at.
The social media?
For social media, you can reach me at Tulivu Coworking Spaces. Tulivu Coworking Spaces. For all the social medias, actually it is Tulivu Coworking Spaces. Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for making time for us. Tutengenezea working space lini sasa tukuje?
The workspace is already there. You just come, meet my team. I have a very nice team that is now helping Tulivu to grow. And I believe when you meet my team, you're going to have the best.
Amazing.
And they will give you the best.
All right.
Hospitality led being one of them, yeah.
Indeed. What is your last remarks?
My last remark is that you as a young person right there, and you're looking to start your business, you're looking to start maybe to get a virtual address, Tulivu Coworking Space is your place to be, and you're ready to accommodate you. For the creatives, are ready to bring you in on board, and we're looking to partner with anybody who bring the growth at Tulivu Coworking Spaces. So basically, as the center manager, I invite you all to do that, to sign up with us, book an appointment with us, we get to interact, we get to partner with also your brand. So yeah.
All right. Asante sana for making time. and I'm happy that you made time as well this morning.
Thank you so
Shukran
much for
za dhati.
having me. Thank you.
All right. Sawa, ladies and gentlemen, mmesikia na mmeambiwa, but above all, flexible office work solutions right here in Nairobi is made well said and done. Of course, many others out there that are struggling with office spaces and workspaces. Of course, there's so many other co-working spaces which allows business people, and of course, since it's a social engagement, it is very particular to take such directions. But one thing that I take home is the advice made to the youths out there, that is there is room for growth, there is room to outgrow, and of course there is room to take opportunities available. You never know where opportunities dawns on us, and of course day in, day out we pray that the good Lord and the heavens above gives us these opportunities direct to us and positions them in the best way possible. So there is no room for our able youths crying day in, day out because of their salaries or their engagements, but they are hoping for a better tomorrow and the greater good in their endeavors. We've concluded this segment. Asanteni sana for making time for this morning, 37 minutes since 9 a.m. Asanteni sana for being with us. Let's believe that all will go well for the greater good. And of course, all the content creators out there, we still emphasize that there is no greater way to have numbers than to have your health and your life. Your life is more important than your numbers. His views and comments, they do not matter when you are dead or you are in a hospital bed. See you next time, because tomorrow we'll be embracing Entertainment Friday. My name is Master Asante sana for joining us. See you next time.